Hi, everybody, and welcome to Sunday. It is July 31st, 2022, and welcome to an all brand new Sacred Space Sunday. I am so excited to be here. This is a topic tonight that we're going to talk about that is just really, it just sings to my soul. And tonight's topic is all about understanding your soul's true potential. And we're going to talk about all the different ways that this topic is coming up for me, how I'm using this energy right now in my life, and how you specifically can be using this specific topic, this energy in your life right now to truly make your life align to, I would say, what it is that you truly desire for yourself. What is it that is your dreams? And so I'm super excited to be here. So let's get started. And one of the things I really want to do is at some point when later on kind of during the topic, I kind of want to talk to you guys about like where you guys are at right now and like what's happening. And while people are kind of hopping on, I'm going to go ahead and go into my live and go from here. Perfect. Okay, so I wanted to kind of talk to you guys kind of all about, and I'm so sorry if I'm looking over to the side. I'm just having I have my notes here, but one of the thing I want to talk to all of you guys about is how did this topic of potential come up for myself? And it's so interesting, right? When I don't know, sometimes I feel like when you hear something or when you watch something, it's like once you grasp onto that concept, it shows up everywhere in your life. I don't know if this has happened to you, and if so, I would love to hear back. But this is exactly what happened to me back in early June. And in early June, I was given this opportunity to work on a very huge dream project that I had no idea would transpire to be what it is. And it has just been such a beautiful opportunity that's been kind of presented to me in my life, not just for the purpose of kind of what it was or what it could end up to be, but to really kind of showcase for myself personally what it was that I needed to learn from this. So in this early June, I was given this opportunity and I was kind of faced with this like left side or right side decision. That's how I kind of felt. And there were so many reasons and excuses as to why I should not do this. And that is so interesting. That seems to be my ego conversation that comes up a lot for me during many of my practices, many of my situations that have come up in my years of my, in the most recent years. Hi, Lori. Thank you so much for being here. So hi, Lupe. Thank you so much for being here. And so considering and weighing both options of like, do I do this thing? Is this a dream project of mine? Like really, like what is coming up? And the truth is when this project was being presented to me, there was no escaping at all the opportunity. It was in my face. This wasn't a casual conversation being brought up to me. This wasn't an idea that maybe I can consider. This was genuinely a legit opportunity that I have been manifesting for quite some time. So what was happening, it being so in my face, I had to ask myself, what is coming up for you? What is happening here? And I had every excuse as to why this is not going to happen. And every single time, every excuse came up, the other side came up too. But if you don't take this opportunity, how are you going to feel? If you don't take this opportunity, what does that mean? Are you going to get this opportunity again? Like, where are you at with this? And everything in me, my ego screams, oh, this is not happening. And yet my heart said, oh no, you're taking this. This is what you're going to do. So The minute I considered it, everything shifted. The minute I considered kind of this experience, my thoughts just like, I felt like rain, like download after download came up for me. And I was like, what is this? I could see beyond certain points. And if you know what I'm talking about, like, you know how you have an idea or you have like this creative vision, and it's like the minute you get into that experience, you start seeing it. All of a sudden you can start seeing past it, and then past it and past it. It's like beyond that experience. That was what was happening to me. So as I was giving myself this proper space to consider this project, I really, now looking back, can understand how this was what I considered to be giving myself my space for potential. And I really was able to look at this entire new area of energy that I was in, and could see all these different potentials and things that could come from me agreeing to this project. And it was not the most comfortable experience, I'm not going to lie. I really had to dig deep and ask myself what was kind of coming up for myself. And so this is, right, this is kind of like, so many of these type of experiences have come into my life. This is not the only one. But for some reason, I felt like more than ever, I felt like this opportunity was given to me at a time that I was really ready. And all the other times with so many different experiences, I just kind of felt like, oh, I don't want to do that, or I'm not ready to do that. And so, but this time it felt so different. And so if this makes sense to you guys, I would love to hear your feedback, because it's a very scary, uncomfortable situation when someone's giving you kind of like this dangling keys in front of your face and saying, you want it? Here you go. What are you going to do with it? And I had to ask myself, do I take the keys? Do I take the keys to the car? Is this really what I want to do? Like, what if I take the keys? What the heck is going to come from this? And where is it going to lead me? Where do I get to drive off to, almost? And that is where I was faced with this kind of mirror work. And we're going to talk a lot about that. But before we kind of do, and to kind of just take a moment of a pause, if you are here, what I would love to hear is, for just a quick moment, and I'm going to ask throughout this live, like, what is it that one thing that you want to work on in your life right now? What is it? And I want you throughout this entire live, whether you're watching this live now or later on, I want you to get honest. Like, what is it that you're working on in your life? And whether it's being abundant, striving for like a new position in your career, like, you know, creating a spiritual practice, or just bettering yourself through like having a healthy, you know, routine in your life, and whatever this is, I would love to hear back from you, because everything we're doing, every time we talk about something, every time we're putting it out there, we are in the alignment and stream of manifesting. So take these opportunities when I'm asking for you guys to engage, to do those sort of things for yourself. It's super important. You don't even understand how powerful that is. So I would love to hear back from you as to what it is that right now it is that you are working on in your life. And ask yourself, what is it? What is it that I want, right? So just start thinking about that. So I was thinking about this kind of opportunity that happened in June. And of course, this is what happens, right? So the minute I started thinking about, oh, if I worked on this project, this could happen, my business can expand in this way, I can help clients in this different experience, and it just became bigger than life. And everything that started happening to me in my life, podcasts would show up, like all talking about potential. Quotes I was seeing were talking about potential. Random messages, spiritual messages would show up in so many different ways through people I was following on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And this is not a coincidence. This happens all the time. What was happening was because I was in this stream of my potential, the universe is like, great, yes, like you're here. So now let me show you all these other tools we can give to you to help you understand how to access your true potential, how to access what this is and what you can do with it, the power behind it. And that has been going on since June. And I cannot even explain to you what has been going on since June. My entire business has shifted. My mindset has shifted. The clients I'm now attracting has shifted. Everything has shifted because I shifted in my personal mindsets about potential, my personal potential. Everything changed. We get so stuck as humans in the experience of where we are at. We create these walls, these really thick limitations as to, oh, we can't go for that, we're not ready, or we're not educated enough, or yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to put myself out there. I don't know if I'm ready for the judgment or the feedback. I mean, how many of us do that? And when this opportunity came up in June, I kept saying to myself, all this feedback was coming up. And yet, as much as this has been this similar distraction and pattern and feedback I've been hearing for so long, for the first time ever, I was saying to myself, I'm done. I don't even resonate with those thoughts or feelings. And I don't, it doesn't even hit me anymore. And so Lupe says, I'm feeling inclined to tap into my creativity, but not sure how yet. Like I have something inside that needs to be created. So Lupe, if you are feeling that way, if you're feeling inclined to tap into your creativity, that in itself is the sign. Do not get stuck. So what happens, especially, so I'm so glad, thank you, Lupe, for saying this. We get super stuck like, I am a worker and this is my job and this is what I'm supposed to do, and anything else doesn't fit that mold. So I should not tap into that creativity, which is completely false. Hi, Gina. Thank you so much for joining. So Lupe, what I would say to you is I want you to listen to this entire just topic tonight, and I would love to see what comes up for you. If anything, Lupe, take a journal and write down messages that are flowing through you. Don't even question them. Just write them all down. Be completely open to this entire experience, okay? So we're going to get back to that in a bit, but if you're feeling inclined, this entire topic is going to speak to you, okay? This is going to speak to you. So where was I? So basically what happened is just about 2 weeks ago, okay, actually, hold on. I don't even know how I found this person. I listen to podcasts all the time. And if you guys follow me, you guys know I love to be super efficient. I love to go on walks and listen to podcasts. I love to get ready, listen to podcasts. I love to surround my day with spiritual energy. And specifically on this one day about 2 weeks ago, I landed on the most random podcast. And I don't even, to be quite honest with you guys, I don't even know how I found this person. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to this person, and she had her initial goal in her business was to make, let's just say $350,000. And in this moment, she could have chosen to be satisfied with where she was at. I mean, $350,000 a year for a business, I mean, that's pretty freaking amazing. But for some reason, something within her, like Lupe, felt inclined to push that experience even farther. She could not understand quite yet, like, why she felt like she wanted to do that. And I'm listening to this podcast and I'm thinking, oh my God, this lady is for real. She wanted to shoot for a goal of $1 million in 1 year. And I thought, wow, that is pretty inspirational. That's great. It's like, honestly, like, good for her. But I'm listening to this podcast and it wasn't even about the numbers. It was what she was saying that I energetically was so in alignment with, the vibration behind it, the feeling behind it. I was like, yes. Have you guys ever listened to someone and you're like just in like, you're in a moment, you're driving or you're listening to a random podcast or what someone's saying, and you're like, oh my God, they are speaking to my soul. Well, this is one of those moments. So about 2 weeks ago, this lady, her name's Katie, she was on this amazing podcast. This is her podcast. And she said, I want you guys to know I made $1 million in a year. And everyone told me this was not going to happen. And she said that everything in her knew that she had two choices. One was to sit and be satisfactory with where she was at, or to go beyond that limitation, to go beyond that story, and to access the true potential behind it. And I was like, yes, like that potential energy is every freaking thing. It's everything. And when I heard that, all these fireworks started going off, because I cannot even tell you that is exactly where I'm at. I've been there since June. When this opportunity came up for me in June, I had two choices. You either choose to stay with where you're at, you stay in this limited story, you stay with this limited boundary that you basically have created over time to be your truth based upon your limitations from your parents and their stories passed upon you, your environment passed upon you, your insecurities and your fears, that you have created over time. So you put all that together, and that is your limited boundary story. Now you have a choice. Do you go for it or you stay there? And she chose to go for it. And in June, everything in me, when this project was being offered to me, I just went into ego mode. I said, you are not ready. There is no way your audience, a community, is going to react to this project the way you think it's going to go. It's so ridiculous. I now look back, and I mean, had I really listened to those stories, I would have not done anything at all. And I would have missed out on the growth. I would have missed out on this love for myself. I would have missed out on this opportunity to get to know who I was. It was absolutely crazy, bonkers, to be honest with you, that I was going to miss out on this, all because of this story behind it. Okay, so if you're just joining, one of the things I want you guys to quickly do is I want you guys to give me one thing right now that you are working on in your life, whether it's a better relationship with your spouse, whether it's to grow a spiritual practice, whether it's to really put yourself out there for a dream that you never thought was possible. Whatever this is, I want you guys to write this down and send it and share it, because I think it's super important, okay? So I was seriously thinking, okay, so now this word potential keeps coming up. And if you guys know what I mean, it's no different than if you guys see numbers like 11, and now you see it on your cell phone. Every time you look at the phone, it's like 111, or someone's posting something about 1111, right? It's like all these things. And so potential kept coming back up over and over and over since June. So I really felt so super pushed within myself to talk about what is potential. What is this word? Because when I was listening to this podcast with this lady named Katie, and she talked about potential, my entire body like just vibrated. Everything in me just connected to what she was saying. And so I decided, I think it was extremely important for us to kind of chat about potential. And so there are so many different ways. Let's kind of talk about manifestation for just a second. Now, everyone knows what manifesting is, okay? Everybody knows that. But nobody ever talks about the specific stages of getting to that manifesting power. Everyone thinks, well, we hear about manifesting, but does anyone really talk about how to actually manifest? Like, does anyone break it down? And I don't know if anyone really can truly break it down, but I can tell you, based upon the many years I've been working with clients and the many experiences where I've allowed myself to really put myself in positions to practice this, I feel like I've come up with a pretty good system. And again, this is my perspective, my connection and alignment to what I believe manifesting is. And if this makes sense to you, great. If it doesn't, don't even trip about it. Like, it doesn't even matter. But I just want to put this out there because I think it's just important for us to kind of expand ourselves, to grow, to be open, to hear each other, and just see if this resonates with you, okay? So I'm going to refresh my page just to make sure I'm not missing anything here. So I looked up the Merriam-Webster definition of what potential was. I'm going to read it to you. It says existing in possibility, capable of development into actuality. So it's existing in possibility, meaning the potential is existing, but it's possible. It's not quite there yet. We're in this middle stage. So I want you guys to think about a scale. This is manifesting. This is what I call, and this is the middle line is potential. And the beginning, truly, in my perspective, is what I call an honest conversation with yourself. And this is where most people get stuck, is the very beginning stage. They don't want to go past that, okay? So one of the things I have done in all of my services, and this has come up over and over, whether I'm coaching you, whether we are doing readings, whether we are doing a class, there are 3 stages. And specifically with manifesting, I would kind of say there's kind of a 4 stages. Hi, Cindy. Thank you so much for being here. There are different stages for manifesting, and I kind of want to give you my feedback. The first stage of manifesting, and by the way, this is extremely important in my perspective to understand manifesting before you can understand potential. If you want to understand how to manifest, you kind of need to understand the growth of how to get into manifesting. Now, let me just be clear here. Anybody can manifest. Anybody. I don't care who you are. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. This is our birthright. Our birthright is to access all potential of our lives. Our potential to access the highest of ourselves, to live a life to the fullest. That is our birthright. To live a life filled with happiness and feeling fulfilled and completement, and to be in a purposeful experience. That is our birthright. So it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what you're going through right now. Please know everyone can manifest. So just let's be clear here. Everybody can manifest. But in order to manifest, I do believe you have to get clear on the stages that lead you to manifesting. And the first stage is acknowledgement. Now, if you want to understand what it is you're manifesting, you have to get super clear as to what it is your life, like what is it about right now? What is happening? You can understand like where you want to manifest and what you really want, but you have to be clear with what's happening in your life right now. Like, are you not healthy? Are you filling your life with toxic relationships? Do you not make yourself a priority? Do you like have negative self-talk? Do you put everyone else before yourself? Where are you with your life right now? Are you on top of all of this? Are you happy? How do you feel about your life right now? What does it feel like, look like to have that other life that you so desire? When you imagine waking up in the morning, like what does it feel like for you? What does that feel like? Do you want to wake up and do you want to feel excited about the day? No matter, like, let's be real here. We all have stuff to deal with, but I'm talking about the essence of your life. Do you get excited about things? Can you look around your life and say, wow, I'm super grateful that I live in this amazing town, or that I have these beautiful energies in my life, relationships and friendships and family members in my life? I had today where I was just like walking around. I was walking by the water, and we went to the water festival downtown, and we had some lunch with our friends, and I just sat there and thought, I could pinch myself. I'm so blessed. I wake up every day, no matter what. Don't get me wrong. I have my days where I'm like, oh my God, so I have a lot to do. But like legit, I can say I'm happy. And I worked really hard to get here. Really hard. And I don't think you have to work hard to have happiness in your life, but I worked hard on my self-worth, on my spiritual practice, on the things I knew I needed to do to get really clear and honest about my life. I had to get super clear about the relationships I had in my life that actually were very toxic. As hard as they were to let go of, I had to get super clear about that. Or I had to get clear about what is it that I really wanted to do for the rest of my life as far as a career. I don't want to be a nurse. I actually would love to help people with their spiritual work. That's another honest conversation. So there's so many different things that I had to get clear with, and that is truly the first stage. There is no way you can get past the first stage and say, I'm ready to manifest. Because if you don't get clear with where you're at, there's no way you can have clarity about manifesting what it is you want in your life. Okay? Now, I think you can manifest anything. I think all the time we're manifesting. We are always manifesting. But wouldn't it be so nice to manifest with clarity the things that you truly do desire versus the things that you're like, I don't know. Sure, why not? So do you see what I'm saying? Is it intentional, or is it like I'm just like not really connected and tapped in? Okay. The second thing is vision. Once you're past this acknowledgement stage, you're kind of like, oh, wow, now I know what it is I actually really do want. And let me use myself as an example. When I was going to nursing school, I was so rigid. I would refuse to see that all this time I was working on my nursing, my prerequisites to get into this program, I was doing this work on the side, which was totally flowing, super easy. I was getting the best feedback. I had met the most beautiful souls in the world. And I was so rigid, so unwilling to see that truly this is a possible opportunity. So once I finally aligned with the fact that I did not want to actually be a nurse, I actually wanted to do spiritual work. The minute I saw that, the minute I connected with that, the vision opened up. Then I could see the grand scale of exactly what it was that I wanted to do. I could see myself working with clients. I could see the engagement. I can see the energy exchange. I could feel the experiences with my clients. I could actually have these really crazy, deep experiences with my vision work because I finally got rid of the things that were not working for me. And that vision work just became so vivid and so real. And the minute I got into flow with that, everything shifted. Everything shifted. So once you get into this vision planning work, it's like, oh my God. So Lupe had brought up a great opportunity for discussion earlier. She had said, I feel very inclined to talk about the fact that I feel very called to do creativity. But let's go take that a step further. You feel inclined to work with creativity. What does that mean? And so ask yourself, what does that feel like? And what does creativity mean for you right now in your life? What does it mean to have creativity in your life right now? Do you feel excited about life? If you do, great. Creativity can mean so many different things. Do you feel unhappy about your life right now? Is creativity a gateway, a portal for you to access healing? So there's so many different things, but you can't, that's the acknowledgement stage, getting honest with yourself, the honest conversation. And once you get past that, then the vision work can come in. Now, once you do the vision work, oh my God. So let's go back to when I talked about this project that was being offered back in June. I couldn't see it. The acknowledgement phase was I had to be honest that fear was holding me back, that I really wanted this opportunity, but I really needed to be honest and forget and release the shame around the fact that I was really feeling fearful, that I didn't feel I was good enough around this experience. And I had to really discover, why did I feel so shameful about being successful? Why did I feel shameful about being given this opportunity? Because everything that it led to was I wasn't good enough to deserve this. And it really just rung true to me. And then while I was discovering this feeling and really working through it, I was really able to see where it came from. And I had asked myself, if you were to let go of the shame, the self-worth issues, could you see how this was being offered to you because you deserve it? Just that in itself. And the minute I got past the acknowledgement phase and I went into the vision phase, wow, what I could see with this project, I could see how it was helping people. I could see how I was really working with some deep, really beautiful work with soul light workers, like I call them my sisters. And I could see how it was impacting all of us working on this one project together, and how it was really changing our lives. And it has. It has changed me in ways I can't even explain. And it's only July, and it was offered to me in June. So the vision work really became alive. I could see so much ahead of itself. I was on the call with one of these, the person ahead of, she's in charge of this entire project. And we were on a beautiful 1 hour conversation, and we were having this back and forth conversation, and we were just in that zone. Have you ever had a conversation with a girlfriend or someone else? You're just in a zone and you guys are going back and forth and you lose concept of time. That's where we were at. We were channeling where it was going to take all of us. And I just could feel it through my entire body, which to me is a confirmation I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. And had I not taken this opportunity back in June, I would never be where I'm at right now. Despite how scary it felt, despite how uncomfortable the opportunity was, it didn't matter. The fact that I took the opportunity and I wasn't quite sure of the next step, I was always led because I led deep into my faith. And when you get past this vision part, you're really in this vision, you're actually opening up the channels and portals to the potential energy. Because now you know that the vision that's being given to you is so real, the potential is there. Does this all make sense to you guys? Like the potential, and there are so many now more other potentials that's going to come from this. So for you guys, ask yourself, what is it? Like, am I holding myself back from any sort of potential in my life? And what is the one thing I would love to have potential with? And what is it that I need to be honest about with my life right now that's kind of restricting me or limiting me from accessing all of this, all of the stages that lead to potential? So now, there are certain things I want you guys to know about potential, and I would love to hear your feedback as we're going here. The one thing I want you guys to know is potential is infinite. It is an infinite possibility. Just like the vortex, if you guys follow Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks, same thing. The vortex of possibilities, it's potential. Every single one of us living this life is potential. What is it that you want? There is no holding back. So I would love to hear from all of you guys right now. What is the one thing you would love right now in your life? I would love, 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 love to hear it, okay? What is it that you guys want for yourself? Remember, when you share, you are on a universal level, you are connecting, communicating this stream of potential. You are connecting with that manifesting energy. And that's really important. It's no different, by the way, from journaling. It's no different from having a conversation with somebody. So if you guys have a moment, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Our school is life. Now, this is something I wrote down. Everything that is happening in our life through relationships, through our home life, through our work, all of it, it's all a school. Cindy says she is working towards a calm regarding the future. I absolutely love that. And when she says a calm regarding the future, the first thing I heard is anxiety is what needs to be surrendered. The fact, we're going to talk more about that, Cindy, but if there's anxiety you're dealing with about the unknown of the future, then you have this desire to hold tight to, I need to know what the future holds for me. So your work right now and your acknowledgement phase is to acknowledge that I'm desiring to have calmness in my life because the opposite of calmness is stress and anxiety. So what is the stress and anxiety about? The unknown, that you have no control over that. What is that about? So that is your work right now. And once you do that, you can kind of work through the other stages. They will naturally show up for you, okay? Lori says, for me, I am grateful for my life, but I'm wanting to start giving in and focusing on a healthy life. Perfect. So, Lori, what is a healthy life? Define a healthy life. Okay, thank you guys so much for the feedback. If our life, everything that's happening in our life is a school, it is our potential and our opportunity for us to grow, okay? Lupe says, what happens to me is that I get interested in something and I find out about it, may start it, but then I get bored or uninterested. Not sure what that is about. So when you get interested in it, you're excited, you're in the zone, you're kind of going with it, but then you get bored. So that boredom is a distraction for you, which is ego, saying, do you really want to do this? So what would happen if you pushed past that experience? When does the boredom hit you? Like, what is that about? And does it consistently show up at the same time? Like, you're excited about it for a good month, and then you're like, boredom kicks in. So ask yourself those questions. What common thread happens with the boredom through all the things you've desired to like try? Okay. We are always receiving feedback from the universe. Okay. We are always receiving feedback. So for us, like when we are in this experience of life, whether it's our relationships, whether it's our job, it doesn't matter what it is, we're being told, you know, how we feel about things is our kind of our emotional guidance system, our intuition guidance system. So for perfect example, for Lupe, she's excited about to start something, but then she gets bored. That bored feeling is her getting caught up in old patterns. And so that's the opportunity to say, whoa, there's a red flag here. I feel bored. Why do I feel bored? What is it about the boredom? Why is this coming up right now? I was totally fine last week, and all of a sudden, now I have a reason of why I should not continue. Okay? Check in with that. Lori says that I don't eat properly or good foods. I'm alone, so I kind of just go with what's easy. I will be honest and say I've never liked to cook, so that is also an issue. So that's wonderful, Lori, though, that's an honest conversation you are having right now with yourself, and that is happening, that you don't like to cook. And there's nothing wrong with that. So investigate that feeling of where do you feel shame around not wanting to be that person that likes to cook? Does that connect to somewhere? Do you feel this pressure to have to like to cook? So ask yourself those type of questions, okay? If you want to become healthy and you want to lean into cooking, do you have hesitation with cooking? And if so, where does that come from? Okay? There's potential to become that cook. There's potential to like to cook, and there's potential to cook healthy choices. But there is, I would say, kind of a wall there. And that wall comes from something you need to acknowledge. Where does it get tied to? Okay? Because the potential is alive. It's ready for you. It's whenever you're ready, you go for it. But the resistance is, I don't know if I don't like to cook. Okay, well, if you don't like to cook, that's fine. But what about not liking to cook? What comes up from that? Okay? So when we get feedback from the universe through all that's happening, this is the most important stage ever that you could be in for potential, to access your potential. Because the only two things that are going to come up from this is what I'm telling myself versus the truth. And in your situation, right, and like all of you guys, there are two ways we can lean. We can lean into, I can explore the potential that can come of this, or I can dismiss this potential. So do I explore or do I dismiss it? So for Lori, could you see through this honest conversation, I don't like to cook, But where does that come from? Who didn't like to cook in my life? Was I told I wasn't a good cook? Do I think I'm not a good cook? Could I learn to be a good cook? That could be a potential. Maybe I'm not perfect at it, but maybe I could see myself learning some stuff here. Do you see it as potential versus, I'm not really good, so I'm just not going to try it all. Boom. Potential's gone. You can apply this to anything at all, okay? So the power of exploring our potential. So there is so much power in this potential practice. And the one thing that I will say that you should do is when you know you want to try new things, you have to give yourself proper space and time to work on this. So you know how like the beginning of the year, you're like, this is the year I'm going to learn how to cook. This is the year I'm going to learn how to do this, and this. Okay, great. So now you know this is what you want to do. But you have to kind of work through that personal stuff and say, I can see how in the past this has held me back. I can see how I was told I wasn't a good person to do this type of work, or I was never going to make it. Check in with that. That is really what is going to hold you back. So what happens when you give yourself this proper time to focus on what it is that you could see that you would want for yourself, you explore it, you investigate it. And this time that you give to it becomes kind of this practice to working on growing who you are. It's exploring your personal fears. It's exploring where old stories and patterns have come from. And you kind of can see how ridiculous some of these stories have been. Okay? So I cannot wait to talk to you guys more about this because I can't talk much about the project, but there were so many ridiculous stories that came up for me, and I cannot believe how unbelievably rigid I was even with myself. And I remember thinking at one point, who cares? It doesn't have to be perfect. Let go. No one cares. The only person that cares is you. That's it. So you're not going to even apply for this possible project and potential of this experience because you think everyone's going to have judgment or feedback. They might, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so how do you access your potential? So the first thing you have to do is make a commitment that you want change in your life. That's the first thing. What is the change? Once you access the desire to know that you want some sort of change in your life or try something new, get honest. What things can kind of be resistant, that I'm resistant to? Like, what things are going to come up? Be honest about them. Like we've been talking about, just get honest with it. Say, okay, this might come up. No big deal, but I'm going to still allow myself to explore even that uncomfortable feeling in regards to that one thing I want to try. I'm going to explore it. I'm going to see what comes up for me. I'm going to feel these feelings. It might be uncomfortable, but I'm going to let myself kind of walk through this because I have not gotten this far yet. This is the farthest I've gone with this type of experience. I'm going to go a little farther and a little farther. I'm going to investigate it. And then I'm going to know when I'm ready. I'm going to be ready and know I'm ready. I'm ready to go for it. I'm ready to not hold back or belittle or be non-expressive in my life. I'm ready to be fearless and powerful and tap into this beautiful potential energy. I'm ready. I may not know how it's going to work, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. And this applies to anyone. Whether you're somebody who's desiring a new position in a project or position at work. If you are somebody who's never been an artist and you've always been super like logical based and you're like, I kind of want to try some like artsy stuff, go for it. Or if this is somebody who's an entrepreneur and they're ready to like monetize their business and upscale everything, what are you waiting for? Like, who is to say that you have to be stuck in these guidelines or roles, right? Who, like, it doesn't even matter. Hi, Janice. Thank you so much for being here. So get clear on, like, I want change, but what is the change I want? I want to try this new thing. Like, am I afraid to do it? What is the fear around this experience? Ask yourself all of these questions, okay? Now, when you make this commitment to explore this, then you have to ask yourself, how am I going to access this kind of potential energy on a regular basis? So let me explain back in June. I'm going to go back to my project I can't really talk about. This opportunity was given to me. I went through all the stages I've talked about. I was like, oh, I can't do it. It's not going to happen. It's too much. This self-negative talk came up. All of the stuff came up and up and up. And I almost got so sick of hearing it. I said, stop. Just go for it. And when I did that, like I said, I saw the vision and all this stuff. So I made a commitment to myself. Every day I did something to work towards this potential energy. I did one thing every day, whether it was creating towards this project, whether it was 30 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, it didn't matter. I made a commitment to honoring this potential energy. And I let go of the rigidity. I said, it doesn't matter the length of time because the universe doesn't understand time. I realized that as long as I was so present with what it was that I was doing towards this potential energy, towards this project, the universe knew I was serious. And that in itself is the most important thing ever. It's not about, oh, the universe knows, oh, you spend an hour or 30 minutes. It's about the energy that you give off around it. So I made a commitment every day, whether I was on vacation, whether I was at home, I talked about it, I wrote notes about it, I did something around it that really aligned my energy towards the potential energy and manifesting of this dream. And that was more important to me than anything else. Does that make sense? Because there was no way, it didn't matter if I worked on it for an hour every single day. At the end of the day, if I didn't feel good with it, if I felt off with it, then I was faking myself out. But if I trusted the intuitive aspect of it, the experience, and I wrote or did something for 5 minutes, or I created something around it for 20 minutes or an hour, it's what my soul felt. And that was more important than anything at all. Like, it just so important. And then the third thing is to recognize your ego is going to really be on overdrive. When you're working with potential energy, it's going to really just be like, what is happening? I am not liking this at all. I'm going to try every single way to come into the noonie cracks of things and really just mess with you. And it tried many times in June. It tried coming through distraction. It would come through where if my computer wasn't working, I was trying to create something, I was like, oh, this is a sign. I could hear these ridiculous conversations. And instead of getting caught in this loop of negativity, I would say, oh, my computer's not working. Thank you, universe. I guess I'm not supposed to work on it today. So I redirected the energy around it. So potential energy is in a stream. It's constantly available. It's whenever you're ready for it. But your job is to do the work, to do the legwork of like, what is it I want to do? What is the change? What's coming up for me? What do I need to be honest about? What do I need to surrender and let go of? All of these different things. And as you really kind of start, and by the way, can I just say this? You don't have to do it perfect. It's going to evolve. I have learned through all of my spiritual practice, through anything I do, there is no such thing as perfect. It is always evolving. We are always upgrading. We are always expanding. We are always accessing everything and anything that we always need and want and desire. It's always available. We just need to get out of the way. And when I say that to you, I know you've heard me say that, and I'm sure you've seen that somewhere. I finally understand that. Getting out of the way for me means I'm letting go of control. I'm letting go of the rigidity of the expectation. I don't need it to look a certain way. It's all going to work out. I'm going to be in some of the most busiest months ahead of myself. My business has taken off. I'm the president for my son's band board, and there's a lot going on at home. And there was a point where I was like, all right, I surrender. I fully surrender to the universe. Like, it's all going to work out. I don't know how it's all going to work out, but I'm in total flow with it. And it's not supposed to be perfect. If I can be present every step of the way with everything that's happening, I am accessing actually more information. I'm tapping deeper into my wisdom, and I'm totally in such flow that I'm not missing a beat, and I'm finding out the messages and spiritual guidance that's constantly around me, because I'm not so focused on I'm not meeting an expectation, or it's not working out. I'm not there anymore. I'm like, sure, let's figure it out. Potential energy is being in total flow. So your goal is, once you understand your acknowledgement, your truth that you need to work through, once you understand the vision, and then you're finally in this flow of potential energy, the last step is to surrender, fully surrender. Like this project that's coming up that happened to me in June. Oh my God. I can't even tell you guys how many things have come up with this. And the head person in charge of this entire project, we just had a conversation, and her role she has talked about is, I'm not here supposed to tell anyone exactly how it's going to end up, or she said there was other people who wanted to come in last minute on the project. Her old self would have been like, nope. And this new person that came into the project was the missing piece that made the entire project complete, because the head person was in such flow that the person that came in naturally gravitated and vibrationally matched the entire project. And I cannot even tell you, I've never worked on a project that felt so connected, so in flow, but it makes sense. All of these light workers that are coming together for this big project, we've done this work. And we're no different from anyone at all. We're just trying to be so connected to the present moments of life and to the potential energy. And now we're excited because the potential energy that we're being shown is beyond that. It keeps growing and expanding. And it's just insane. It makes me so emotional. Okay? Does this make sense what I'm saying to you guys? So Lupe says, I've been so hard on myself sometimes that might have stemmed from my upbringing. Lately, I'm giving myself a lot of grace and self-care. Okay, I'm going to share something so awesome with you guys. So I had come across this amazing person that I found on Instagram. And he was saying something, and I swear to you guys, and I know I just said this to you guys in the very beginning. He said something that resonated with the deepest part of my soul. And I'm going to share this with you, Lupe, and anyone else that's listening. The past is the past. It is what it is, and it doesn't belong in the now. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, well, how can that be? Your past has a massive effect on you and blah, blah, blah. And we can go on forever. Of course it does. But if you sit there in the past, and if you sit there and so Lupe, your whole job is to say, I could see how my past affected my present moment, but it is what it is. So now what am I going to do with it? What am I going to do? So you're not going to go for something, or I'm not speaking directly to you, Lupe, but anyone that were to say to me, oh, I don't know if I can go for that dream, or I don't know if I'm good enough because I wasn't come from a house of education, or whatever this is. Like, really? Right? So this present moment, this moment, your past made you to be who you are. Use that power. use those contrast experiences to use those energies to make you understand that the reason why you want those things that you desire is because you're being guided and pushed, and you were given those beautiful opportunities of contrast in your upbringing to make you see how maybe it gave you more ability to have more compassion in your life right now. Maybe it makes you to be a harder worker. All of these things. So being hard on yourself is a part of yourself not meeting an expectation. Does that make sense? What expectation is there? Whose expectation? Based upon what? Your past? Is your past here right now? No. Right now, the potential energy is completely open. Your potential energy is always available 100%. You are just getting in the way. So ask yourself, what is the potential energy for myself? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do with it? What do I want to do with it? I am telling you guys this because when this project came to me in June, I have this massive dream and I know exactly where I want to go. And I know I could feel it and I could see how I want to work with people. I also see how I want to connect with people. And what I know is I want to connect with souls on a soul-to-soul level. I want to help them see that anything's possible. I want them to understand that if they continue this practice, anything is possible. And they don't have to be stuck in the past. They don't have to be stuck in these rigid lines. They can be really happy. Once you just know the potential energy is there and anything that you want and desire is there available to you, and you, just because of your past and what you had, and it doesn't matter what your background is, we're all on the same playing field here. We all can access it. I have worked with some of the most high, paid women that are miserable, and they have really high-end jobs, and they are so unhappy. Hello, Mike. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you so much for being here. So does that make sense? I don't give a crap what your background is. If you want to change your life, if you want to make things happen, the only person that is holding you back from that is you. And I'm going to ask you something. So if you want to make change happen, what is that mindset? What is that conversation that's coming up for you? What would it feel like if you were just to have fun with it and just let it go and fully go for everything? You would be so amazed as to the potential that will come your way, the things that you will manifest, the abundance that will come into your life. The universe does not care who you are, where you came from, the mistakes you made. It doesn't matter about the money and you have in your bank account, and none of it matters. All that the universe is ever working with is your personal energy, and that is it. So if your energy is not feeling it, it's not going to work. Sorry, there's this hair. Makes sense? But if you wake up, and I know you guys know this, when you guys wake up, you're like, yes, oh my God, I feel really good. All of a sudden you're getting that front row parking. And you're having the most high vibe conversations with people, or things are working out, or you got this out of nowhere, someone handed you, hey, by the way, just came out of the store. If you want this $10 coupon, go ahead. You know what I'm talking about. You're in that vibrational state because you're in that flow of that potential. You're in it. You're in it because you believe you deserve the potential. You believe the potential is available. And you believe you have surrendered and you've leaned so deep into this faith of the potential. And when you work with that mindset, anything is possible. And I'm not to say that things won't come up, but that feedback that will come up or that pushback that comes up is only there to say, oh, there's a little bit of contrast. I can see how this little bit of ego I'm still working through. That's all you need to see it as. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So your last step when you access your potential energy is to surrender. And when I say to you surrender, I am telling you I am officially in this space right now of my life with my business and this beautiful project that I've been given. I am deep in surrender. I could see how ego wanted to come back in and try to mess with me. I'm like, yeah, I could see you. I see you in the corner. I could see that. But what's interesting now is now, because I've allowed myself to tap into this beautiful energy of potential, I swear to you, I cannot tell you the insane amount of guidance and potential of other things that are coming to be has now come my way. Like I just alone, I've had people come forth and ask me if I do certain things with my business, like things I was thinking about a year ago, or how my clientele has changed. And I'm working with like very specific clientele now. I'm like, yes, because I'm in my potential space, or just everything. I'm manifesting in a way that I couldn't even explain to you. So I understand now that this entire time I have been in the way, and I am now just trying to have fun with it. And if any of you guys watch Gabby Bernstein, there's one video that I swear to you guys that she has talked about. If you want to understand how to manifest, have fun. And I am having fun. I'm having fun with learning about potential. I'm having fun about all of this. Does that make sense? So anyways, I hope this topic makes sense to you guys. And what I want to do is I want to ring my chimes to kind of clear the air. And I really want to give you guys some readings. And so before we have you guys kind of type in your name, if you guys want a reading, I would like for you guys to take a second and allow your energies to reset. And when I ring these chimes, what I would like for you guys to do is ask yourself, what energy is my soul needing? What is the message or guidance my soul needs to hear? It could be about potential. It could be about whatever it is. But if it's about potential, be very clear in your intention. Okay? So go ahead and close your eyes. And always our breath is in through our nose and out of our mouth. So go and close your eyes. So go ahead and take a deep breath in. And deep breath out. And deep breath in. And deep breath out. And one more time. Deep breath in. And out. And as I ring these chimes, allow the vibration of the energy to reset you and your soul, and allow yourself to be reset for alignment. I just got the chills. Wow, I could feel that. That was powerful. Okay, wow, that was powerful. Okay, if you would like a reading, if you would like a reading, please let me know. I have decided to use Rebecca Campbell's deck, and it is so beautiful. And what I love about this deck is it gives us this sort of insight into a really kind of, I would say, a deep reading. It's a deep reading of your soul. And again, I love John Holland. He's probably one of my most favorites oracle authors. I absolutely love him. He's in, I think, the East Coast in Boston. I love the Psychic Tarot. It's really, really good. Yes, I'm seeing all of you guys pop in, which is wonderful. Absolutely. And I'm going to do 2 cards tonight. And we'll go from there. Okay, so let's see. I'm refreshing my page. And Lori is first. So let's start with the Psychic Tarot. Okay. Yes, absolutely. You guys I've got you in line. So Lori is first. So Lori, go ahead and take some deep breaths. Let's connect with your energy. Let's see what's going on here. Wow. Woo! Alrighty. Okay. And I'm going to pull from the Rebecca Campbell. Again, close your eyes, Lori. Deep breath. Connecting with your energy, soul to soul. Wow. Great. Okay. Oh, I love that. Rachel, thank you so much for being here. Oh my God, I miss you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome. Okay, Lori, and Rachel, if you want a reading, let me know. Lori, I am so excited. The last several times I've tapped into your energy, oh my gosh, can we just talk about this? Everything screams about the potential energy, by the way, of accessing your third eye. Now, the third eye chakra is all about really tapping into your personal intuition system. And it is always here for you. Anything that is happening every day, throughout the day, all the time, it's always a feedback system. It's an internal system. It's always happening to always give you guidance. Now, I had mentioned to you, I think the last time I had quickly done a live with you and you were on, and I had talked about your spiritual path, and this is coming up again. Now, interesting enough, your card says trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? If you knew, Lori, that you were supported and everything worked out, what would it look like? It's so important. I ask myself this often. And I love that it's a soul just wandering through their own personal journey. And by the way, I don't even know if you can see this, but there is like this light beaming down above the soul. And that is potential energy. That is the access to the intuition. I have felt that specific energy with Reiki with clients. I feel it with them when I'm doing sessions. I'm always feeling that. Just please, everyone, I want everyone to hear this. This isn't just a message just for Lori. We are always accessing guidance. It doesn't just live within us. We are connected to source, to universe, to God, energy, whatever you want to call it. It is always happening. So your job, Lori, is to really dive deep into the potential of what your spiritual journey really looks like and what exactly is it that you want to get out of it. And just trust everything. Don't worry about the long-term experience. Just access the initial thoughts with it. It's a domino effect. And one thing I've known through all of the years of being on this path, that's something that I would say is true. Everything's a step system. In order to access the main events, you have to kind of go through the initial stages. So really awesome. I'm super excited for you. So that's great. Okay, so Cindy is next. Okay, so Cindy, whoops. Okay, Cindy, go and close your eyes. Deep breath. Wow, it's so interesting, Cindy. I can feel my back tense right now. So really allow yourself to like let go. Just really let go. Soul to soul energy here. Let's see what's coming up. Cindy's energy. Oh my God. Yes. Thank you so much for being here, Nakonia. If you want a reading, just let me know. I'm doing readings. Okay. All right. So Cindy, wow. Okay. So you're being asked to surrender this feeling of defeat, this feeling that the story that you carry is conflict. So, okay. Okay, yes, Nicole, you are here. So this card of conflict and defeat. So Cindy, don't go deep with this. This is just a story. All this is a story that I have to carry this heaviness of this energy, or this story about what life has been lately, or whatever this is. Or maybe right now, simply you are really dealing with some sort of conflict. But the thing I want you to understand, and this is something I really am so passionate about, you guys, is your story determines everything. Meaning, we create stories all day long. So Cindy, the story you wake up this morning with, what is the story that you have? Hi, Judith. Thank you so much for being here. And if you want a reading, let me know. You just got to let me know in the comments. You know, Cindy, if you believe that conflict is what you attract, then that in itself is the attraction. If you believe that there is conflict in your life, but you don't necessarily want to carry it, then that is a story you can let go of, and it will become easier to just realize that whatever's happening around you, if it's someone else's stuff, it's not your responsibility to carry. There's something about that. The biggest thing that they're asking for you, not only to surrender was that, but to also focus on the potential that it is your birthright to work it on yourself. It is your birthright to know that you can have a healthy mindset and love for yourself and journey, and that is filling up your well. You deserve that space, that time, this journey to be this and not be this. This is the old and this is the new. But all of this is a choice. Which one do you want? And if you are having a hard time figuring this out, you have to ask yourself, what about that? And making that choice is really hard for me. Why is it hard? And I hope this makes sense to you, but no, this is available and ready for you whenever you want. That journey of getting to know who you are, to have that peace and that calm and that love that you truly desire, which is what you mentioned earlier, is available to you, okay? So make sure that you know this is ready. But are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, all right. So hope that makes sense, Cindy. Janice, you are next. Okay, so let's see. So Janice, go and close your eyes. Deep breath in and out. Letting the energy go. I'm actually going to clear the energy right now. Whoops. By the bell. Just kind of reset the energy. Okay, so Janice, let's see here. And Gina, of course, absolutely. Okay, I'm just now seeing. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, so Janice, let's see. Let's access some energy here. I just heard I am such in need of a reset, which is why I did the chimes. Gosh, so interesting enough, you're battling yourself. You are totally, yes, Judith, no problem. So, Janice, I keep hearing, you know what you want, but you keep getting in the way. You know, like it's a constant, you know, like you have this conversation with yourself, like all the things you need to do, everything that's kind of happening. Oh my God, how's this gonna, that's what I keep hearing. So let's see what the Rebecca Campbell card is saying to you. Double mission. Now, isn't it interesting that this card is talking about a double mission and this is a double? So what I will first say, Janice, is you are in the center between the left and the right, and who's on the left is Janice in her most optimal, highest vibrational states of living, and on the right side is this limited experience. Get out of the way and surrender all of it. Stop having this conversation with yourself about all the things that are not working out, all the things you need to do, blah, 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 blah. It keeps on going. Your job, and it says here, is to channel and uplift humanity. the way we channel and uplift humanity is being the highest vibrational of ourself. We are part of consciousness. So when you let go of whatever this belief system of this human experience is, and you allow yourself to kind of just have fun, I would say is the word. And I would say that recently you were shown what it means to live life in a way that feels like it's flowing and you're having fun and there's really nothing to worry about. That is really what you truly desire, and you're just trying to figure out how to get there. Does that make sense to you? So your double mission is, I'm living two lives. On one end, I want this other lifestyle, but I feel stuck in this. So let me know if that makes any sense to you at all. But your job really is to let go, that you can let go of one of the lives and you can lean towards the life that you truly want. So, okay. All right. So let me know if that makes any sense to you. Okay. So Gina. All right. So before I do Gina's reading really quick, I wanted to kind of show you the two stones, and I don't know why in this exact moment why I'm talking about this, but maybe this is for Gina. But the carnelian stone is something I feel like is really important for my rooting. And then the sodalite is really good for expression and truth and belief system. So I work with these two stones. I have them around me to remind me about how I can be very grounded and feel safe in expressing what it is I really want and who I am, and not being afraid to show up as the authentic me. So, oof, that card came up. So, okay, Gina, let's see here. I'm going to refresh the page just to make sure I'm catching up to all the comments here. And let's see here. And Jenna says, yes, that makes sense. You are so welcome. Okay. Lori says, love this reading. Thank you. You know me well. My ego has been getting in my way. Letting go is my homework. Letting go is a huge process of our spiritual practice. So please don't be hard on yourself. Letting go, it's ever evolving. And letting go will mean something completely different in all the stages. Wow, Gina, that just flew out. Letting go will be have different meanings in all different stages of our life. Okay, so Gina, your first, I keep hearing the word trust with you. You just have to trust that everything is going to be fine. I don't know why I feel like there's a bit of anxiety with this new coming year, and I'm talking about school year. There's something there, and to trust that you are doing the work you need to do. You don't have to live in a state of stress, and you don't have to worry about any sort of anxiety here. Okay, so this says trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So there's some sort of kind of like, I feel like there's like a hunch around something. Like you are feeling afraid to trust some sort of feeling that you are getting. And I don't know if you're afraid to trust it because you're afraid of what it could lead to, or there's something about that. But the first card you got was lights. There's really, you guys, listen, this is the truth. And this is a practice in itself. There really is never, ever, ever anything for us to really worry about. Everything truly is so connected and is happening always for us to use the experience to grow. And I'm not saying that they're easy experiences. I have worked with a lot of clients who have had some severely hard lives. And I don't take this comment lightly. I don't just say it to everyone that it's just like, this is life. I'm saying to you guys that if you guys can just start to understand that life is not here to make us suffer, that there's something here that we can trust, that even if there's an experience happening, or we're having an intuitive experience, a gut feeling that something's off, or something isn't right, we can trust and lean into knowing that there's something there for a reason, and we really don't need to be scared of it. So if that makes any sense to you. So Gina, your number one goal here with all of this is to really lean deep into your faith and deep into your practice and not shy away from it, because it is going to help you tremendously in this year to come. You are actually going to see how you will evolve by leaning super deep into letting go and surrendering the outcome of what you believe it's supposed to look like or how things are supposed to be. You don't need to worry about any of it because you're not in control. You're not in control of any of it. So it doesn't even truly matter, to be quite honest with you, of what you believe it's supposed to be, because universe is going to be set up exactly how it's supposed to be. That's it. So is it Alicia Rose? Oh, what a beautiful name. Thank you for joining. If you'd like a reading, let me know. So I hope this makes sense, Gina. You just need to recognize there is no need to control. It's truly wasted energy, and it's just such a heavy feeling. So the more you practice the surrendering of the expectation of self, the expectation of the situations, the expectations of people, and what it is to come, you actually will feel completely lighter. And actually, you're going to have fun. You're going to go, okay, maybe your mantra every day should be, what am I going to surrender today? And let Spirit tell you, power. Surrender the outcome today. Surrender relationships. Surrender whatever it is. Listen. Surrender whatever this is. Control. Right? Right? So Gina says it makes sense. Transitions ramp up my anxiety. Yes. So please, when these transitions happen, one of the things we all can do when we all have transitions, especially as parents, or especially people who are going back to work as teachers or whatever this is, transitions are hard because when transitions are hard, you guys, it is a belief system deep down within us that believes that we should be nervous or have anxiety based upon the possibility that really negative situations can happen and I won't know how to deal with them, or I won't be able to control them. That is what an ego perspective is as of transition. But if I were to say to you, transitions can actually be very beneficial, one of the things I'm going to ask for you to do is lean into the practice of, I can see there's a transition coming up. I can see how transitions have in the past really give me a lot of anxiety, but this time I'm actually going to see how this transition truly is going to be something that I really get to lean into and grow from. And I want to see what awesome opportunity is going to come up. What awesome opportunity. So fellow intuitive, you've inspired me since I was a kid. Is this Alicia? Wait a second, have I known you? Oh my gosh, I think I know you, Alicia. Let me know. So, okay, and Gina says the ridiculous part is that it's always fine. It's not ridiculous. You're right, because it's always fine. So, let me know if this makes sense. Okay, and Judith, you are next. All right, let's see here. Perfect. Let's go. Super excited. Okay, we might need to talk. Oh my gosh, is your mom Annette? You guys, look at this. This is crazy. Stop. This is crazy. Okay, so Judith, you are next. Go ahead. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Let's go. Okay, Judith, this reading is for you. Soul to soul connection. Let's see what card is coming up. Okay. Love it. Love it. Elisa says, yes. Oh my God. Okay, you guys, I've known her forever. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Thank you, Lisa, for being here. Lupe. Oh, absolutely. No problem. Okay, so Judith, wow, I am just going to, you guys, the cards are just flipping over. I don't even have a choice. Judith, this reading, this happened. It's on point. Like cards were flying out, cards were stopping. So I want to talk to you about, Judith, about your solar plexus. Now, I don't even know if you can see the rays of the sun here. I keep hearing yellow, sun, strength, and power. Now, I feel like you're tapping into a very deep part in your life right now. It doesn't even matter. Like, hi, Madison, thank you for being here. It doesn't matter, honestly. Like, the solar plexus is showing up now in a way for you to recognize your own potential and your own power. It always will mean something different throughout our life, right? In different stages, in different ways. And so for you, I feel like you don't need to be afraid of your power. You don't need to be afraid of like accessing how you, I feel like there's something you're really good at, or there's something you're starting to see that you want for yourself. And I feel like you're a bit hesitant as to go for something. And the reason I'm saying that is because the Priestess card is coming up. Now, the Priestess card to me, excuse me, my throat is really dry. The Priestess card for me is a card that is all about stepping into your power. And I would love to know, Judith, if this makes any sense. Because the solar plexus, excuse me, it's scary to be in that space, right? I mean, being a priestess means that we have to step up, step into our power and lead. So are you struggling with leadership of yourself? What does that look like? What is it that you really want to do? What potential do you see for yourself? I'd love to know that. I would love to hear that right now. Because if you got the Priestess card, you're tapping into power, intuition, a knowing. You've always been guided. There's a journey that you've always either dreamed about. It's a calling that is so much bigger than you. What I do is bigger than me. I always thought it was going to be nursing and nursing and nursing. But this is bigger. And I had to face some of my own judgment of my own experience to kind of overcome that, to kind of see like, okay, this is actually what I really want to do, but I'm actually really afraid. I had to get honest. What was I afraid of? I was afraid of the judgment. I was afraid of the pushback, the resistance from people. Was I really going to make it? Was my community even going to get this? I mean, all of it. But the minute I got out of the way with all of it, I just focused on one step in front of me, and it led to another step. It all just flowed. The potential energy just kept happening. And now I cannot even imagine doing anything else at all. So I'm always being asked when I do services as far as readings, Reiki, the live I'm doing right now, I have to tap into this all the time. When we see this, you guys, our solar plexus, it's the bridge between the upper and lower chakras. It's the power within ourselves, okay? So let me know if this makes sense, Judith. You're being called to step up, step into the power of your leadership. Do not be afraid to do this. Do not be afraid. Okay. I'm so sorry. Excuse me that I'm using a cough drop, but many of you guys that caught my last live know that I was sick with that thing we can't talk about. Woo, and it is for real. So let's see who is here. So Alicia, okay, hold on. I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. Alicia. Yes, Alicia. So awesome you're here. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, so go ahead. Close your eyes. Deep breath. Connect. Okay. All right. Let's see what's coming up. Judith said, oh my God, everything you just mentioned makes so much sense. Oh, you are so welcome. So welcome. And I'm so happy this made sense. Trust yourself. You are making the right choices and don't ever doubt it. Don't be afraid to step into that, Judith. I'm telling you guys right now. Judith, you got it. Okay, Alicia, so this other card is coming up. 1 second, hold on. Okay. So I'm going to just say this to Alicia. And also I'm going to say it to Madison here too, but Madison will have her own energy that comes up. I just felt the father energy come through, which was, I wasn't expecting that to happen. And I just heard to shoot for your dreams, do things that I couldn't do, that I couldn't see for myself. And the minute you do this, all of the energy, everything that you wanted is going to happen. Like we talked earlier about stories of our past, anything that's happened, it doesn't own us. That belief system that owns us, it limits us instantly. So let it go. Let it all go. Because I feel like I'm kind of doing an interesting reading for Alicia and Madison at this same time. I don't know if this is okay. I feel like there's conversations that the both of you guys kind of have. And the reason I'm saying this is because I keep getting the soul tribe, like all of those on the other side, your ancestral energy, your soul tribe is just on the other side, just cheering you on. Don't limit yourself. Like, don't worry about your stories. Don't worry about what's happened. Like, don't believe that's it. That's it. And there's nothing else. What is it that you dream of? What is the life you see? What is it that you want? The minute you get with it, the accelerated motion will happen. And interesting, the guiding light, I don't know if there's something about seeing stars. I'm going outside. I look up at the heavens. I'm always watching the stars. I'm always seeing something. I'm always looking up. Like there's some sort of symbolism there, or there's some sort of guidance or messages or something there with stars or something there. And it's really important. You have to go for that thing and don't let anything get in your way. I also heard, don't even think about it. Just let one thing in front of the other just happen. It will just naturally happen. I've been called to tap into my gifts after the most recent loss. Oh, I know. I'm so sorry, sweetie. And my baby. I'm so sorry. I know. There is, when we talked about soul tribe on the other side, our soul, everyone has a soul tribe, by the way. If everyone's watching this, we all have a soul tribe. So I lost my dad at 22 and my father-in-law many years ago. And we're all soul tribes. So my husband, my kids, we're all soul tribes, right? My sisters, and we're all in the soul tribe. We're all here to help one another experience life, to help one another grow. And that is important. So if that makes any sense. The star connection, I told my oldest she turned into a star. Oh my goodness. Well, the star energy is really important. Interesting enough, there was an intuitive experience with telling her about the star energy. And there's something I'm going to say this too. As you help your oldest, you're actually healing yourself. And I know you can see that. I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because that is also what your father's doing with you. That's also what your father's doing for you. Please, everyone, know that anything that's ever happened in our past, anything that's ever happened, it doesn't hold us back from the potential. Does that make sense? Alicia says yes. Okay, that's so awesome. You guys, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I love it. I love that this energy is just flowing like this. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You guys are so amazing. This has been I can't even. The connection tonight is just so crazy. Everyone that's been here was supposed to be here. All of it. Just the connection in itself. Just please know, like, any message you heard me talk about with someone else, like, hear it. It's all important. She says, thank you. It's been a long time. You're so welcome. It's been forever. Sending you a bunch of love. You guys, I'm so grateful and thankful for everything tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this connection, for making this live be alive. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone else here. Oh, Lupe. I need to do Lupe. I did not forget you, Lupe. Okay. And Lupe is my last reading. Lupe, you're my last reading. Whoa. That just happened. Oh my gosh, this card, Lupe, I'm dying. Oh my God. When I talk about connection, you guys have no idea, Lupe, you guys, you know what's so interesting? This happened last time. So many of you guys know I've been doing my mediumship advancement classes, and I've graduated from them. And mediumship has really come through in my readings. It was never my full intention, but it's been happening naturally. The last reading I did live like this, it's so interesting that the spirits on the other side that needed to come through came in towards the end of all of the readings, and it's just wild. And so Lupe, you're definitely one of them too. So wow. Okay, so Lupe, close your eyes, deep breath, and out. Okay, let's see here. This is your card. And do you see the hearts glowing? You see this? So this is, I know you know who I'm talking about. I believe it's Miguel. I just feel like the way he believed in you, I'm being told, is for him reminding you that you also need... Oh, and Niconia. Yes, I'm so sorry. I apologize, Niconia. It's so weird how everything's out of order on this screen. I'm so sorry. Niconia, you're next. So Lupe, I hear that Miguel is reminding you that the way he believed in you, you need to believe in yourself. You don't need anyone else to do that for you. And your heart is actually being healed. Your heart is being healed. He's giving his heart healing over to you because he struggled with his own heart stuff in this lifetime. And that's how you guys connected. You guys both connected through your past. You guys saw each other through life experiences. And he's telling you, you don't have to suffer. This is not for you to suffer. You need to ground yourself in your practice again. You need to get back into your daily practice. You need to get back into grounding your energies, believing that all that you need to ever access is already within you and alive. Anything you ever need, all the potential energy, the feeling of being loved, the feeling of all this makes sense. Okay? Does that make sense to you? You don't have to worry at all, ever, ever, ever. The energy that you're searching for, the healing that you're looking for, and all of this already resides in you. The completeness already is within you. It's not elsewhere. It's already in you. The ego experience is making you believe that you need to be in a suffering experience. There's a difference between sadness and grieving. There's a completely different experience, and that is respected. That's where you're at. But believing that this is your journey or this is your life and this is your story, that is false. That is not your story. Your story is that you are capable of being loved. And it's so important. She says, of course, he's saying this. He's always looked out for me. That is what he's still doing on the other side. Please know that, Lupe. And so this is just him giving that healing heart torch over to you. Okay? Does that make sense? So please know he's giving forth that energy of healing and love to you. And he has come up so beautifully last time and this time. So Lupe, I mean, my goodness. No, he's working from the other side to help you out. So it's a really beautiful message. And he wants you to connect with nature. That's what I just heard. Connect with nature. Get out, walk. See him in everything. See him in everything. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Niconia, you are next. And let's get this. Yes, makes sense. I love him so much. Oh my God. Yes. And he loves you. That never dies. Lupe, that never dies. That never dies. Okay. Niconia, deep breath. Close your eyes. And one more time. Okay, Niconia. That's a cool card. It's an interesting thought I just had. This card really needs to come first. Unbound. Releasing soul contracts, soul patterns, and stories of your past life. The experience, Niconia, that you are going through in this lifetime has brought up a lot of triggers for you. It has made you to dive deep into knowing who your soul is and your existence in this lifetime. Your purpose is to really unbound yourself from the contracts you've made from the past, and for you to see that you have full potential to be successful in what it is you really want to do, because that's the victory card. You have to let go of this. And yet, interesting enough, everyone around you believes in you. Everyone around you connects with that. But you have to believe in yourself. There's something you're working through in this lifetime that you've bounded to in other lifetimes. So whether it's this insecurity, or I don't know if I'm going to be successful in that endeavor, which I feel like there is some sort of a new endeavor with you. There's something you're really considering. There's something that you... And by the way, please know, this is not a new experience here. There's something here. I feel like you've already done it, but you're trying to do it again, but in a different way. You're trying to make it more successful this time around. You want to do it different. There's something there. That's really interesting. But you have to use these experiences to kind of work through the unbound of self. You know, that's what really this is all about. You're just kind of working through this kind of old patterns. So please know that the minute you let go of the expectation and you just merely, all your job is to connect with what feels right for your soul in this lifetime, that in itself will lead you to the success that should be celebrated. Success is not about the making of the money on this. I mean, that's great asset things that kind of happens. But success to me is when you listen to your soul and you align so deep within it that you lean so deep in trust and faith that you let go and surrender of the control of all of it. Okay? So please know, Niconia, whatever this is that you are considering or have lightly, by the way, considered, and now it's starting to become a consistent thought, know that there's something there that you really want to do, you get back into, try out. There's something with it. And it's going to be great stuff. This is your focus right now. This is important. I feel like the time is right. Okay. Okay, guys. I think that's it. I am so happy you guys are all here. Thank you guys for being on this live and she says, well, thank you, very powerful. You are so very welcome. So very welcome. Thank you, everyone, for being here, for listening, for being a participant. I'm so happy. I hope You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here, Lisa. Thank you. Please know that every message that you guys are listening to that resonates with you, pay attention to that. That is your soul connecting to the vibration of a message that you heard. Pay attention. Pay attention, okay? Lupe says, thank you so much. You are so, so welcome, you guys. Have a wonderful night, a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you guys all soon. Be on the lookout for a new Sacred Space Sunday. I'm going to be thinking about the new date and topic. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful night. Mwah. Bye, guys.